probably wondering why we're out here to start the episode, and that's because on January 24th, 2022, this little beacon of light right here is where I spawned in for the first time on this world. So if you probably already guessed, because of the title and the thumbnail, today we are doing our 1-year world tour for my survival world on Hypixel. So I'm going to try my very best to explain everything in great detail while also still being pretty brief and concise, so that way we can get to everything on this world. So whether you're a new or a returning viewer watching this series, this is basically going to be a video recapping my progress that I have made on this world over the past year since I started it. But first I'm going to explain to you guys, like I did in my 6-month world tour video all the way back in episode 1, what this world is basically like. Since I still don't have a map room quite yet, I'm going to use chunk base as a couple of quick references. But for those of you that still don't know after clicking on this video, my name is Widdy, and I currently reside in a massive snow biome on my survival world. As you can probably imagine, some of my other biomes are currently thousands of blocks away from where I currently reside. Over time, I've developed a very unique building style for a lot of my structures within the snow biome, a lot of which followed this very Nordic and Viking style aesthetic, which looks really nice across my world thus far. So when I haven't been busy with my college life or my time at the gym, I'm either playing on my drum set at home, or I'm primarily on this world that I've enjoyed doing in some of my downtime, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So sadly though, in terms of a world download, I still will not have one for our 1-year tour. Disappointing, I know, but there really isn't any like mods that are compatible with the current version, with Fabric, or with the current version of Java. So it really sucks. That's really the only downsides of playing a survival world on Hypixel, but hopefully they'll have that feature available for SMP like in the future or something, whether it's like a mod like on a public client like Lunar, or if it's by command for server owners on the Hypixel SMP. It's really messy in terms of trying to find a world downloader mod that works, and you don't want your computer to basically get like Corona-chan. So if we fly north to where our spawn point is, this is actually where we ended up settling ourselves, and you can see some of the builds here. Our Sweetberry Snow Globe, we'll get to that in a bit, but if we walk up this pathway here, this is where I decided to build my very first house on this world. This is my winter cabin. It's a really cool cabin. I still stay in it to this day, and there's a massive cat problem that I have because of my villager breeder outhouse that I built in the last episode. We'll get to that later. But yeah, this is where like all my pets stay, like at the moment, my doggies, my cats, my birds. This area over here is my kitchen. I don't know why a lot of my cats are like sitting here, so this is where I like store a lot of food and stuff. And then over here, this is kind of where like most of my pets hang out, including my dogs. This area has like a nice campfire. It's like a living room area. And then if we go up here, we get to meet my pet alien. His name is E.T. And I also have a level 30 enchant station here. And also I have a little area where I can just like write my thoughts and ideas for this world. So a lot of my cats live up here as well. I have some nice decorations and stuff too. Anvil, smithing table, and then in here is my bedroom. A lot of my cats like to stay up here too. This is mainly where I sleep on this world, and I have a ender chest. This is actually my first ender chest, and then this is also my jukebox that I have up here with a bunch of music discs and stuff. Let's make Zazu up here dance. But yeah, this house pretty much has everything you really ever need within like an actual survival Minecraft house. So It is really awesome, and I haven't felt the need to move out at all, and I think I showcased this in my 6-month world tour as well, in all the way back in episode 1 when we first started the series. So if we go out here, this is one of the new pathways that I designed just right before this episode. I added a bunch of end rods as well, just to give it a nice little detail, and then this connects all the way to my infinity well. So this is where I collect water to make other farms and stuff on this world, which is really cool. Lelouch, here you go, buddy. So behind my house, I have this little ice fishing rig in this little ice river here. And this is where I did a lot of fishing on this world to get a lot of food and to get especially a lot of name tags as well. So this is where I used to go fishing a lot, but not so much anymore since we have other things now in this world that just totally one-ups this, but it is here for nostalgic purposes and I will keep it here. Also, I have this huge water elevator on this ice river as well, and this is where my mob grinder is located. So if we go all the way up here, this is one of my early game pre-survival series farms that I built on this world to get a bunch of XP and a bunch of loot as well. So we're actually up really high in the sky. We're at Y156, and these guys spawned much higher, and that's because of spawn rates. So they actually spawn much better up in the sky than underground, like in caves and stuff. So they spawn much better up here, and you can actually just sit here AFK and let these guys just pile up. And you can just get free XP from them. But yeah, really good early XP farm that you guys can build. It's super basic, and I'm hoping to build a creeper farm somewhere next to this as well in the future. Turn my shaders back on here and show you guys basically what the world looks like from all the way up here. It is really cool, especially the snow globe down there. But you can basically see my house, my well, and some of my other builds as well in the distance. So it's a really cool view up here. Walking down here is another pre-survival series build that I had. This is my animal pen. This is my OG animal pen. I redesigned it quite a bit in between some of the earlier episodes to try and fit with the aesthetic on this world. But we have sheep, pigs, cows, chickens. I also have an egg farm down here, but I usually farm these guys up, get wool, get food, a whole bunch of other stuff. And I have an egg farm down here for my chickens, so I just collect eggs from all these hoppers here and just store them in all these chests. So I think it's much more convenient and not as nuanced as some of the early game automatic chicken farms. But yeah, that's my animal pen. I usually come here like quite a bit just to get a whole bunch of other resources, particularly from sheep and cows. Speaking of food, this is our butcher shop. This is what we did in episode 10. But yeah, this is where I keep and store most of my food and also trade sweet berries with these two villagers, and these guys have been making me a lot of emeralds recently. And then also out here is our bonfire pit. This is where you can also cook a bunch of food and stuff out here, and I think I definitely need to decorate this place more. And if you move directly out here, this is where my everything farm is. This is also referred to as my dowel plantation, and this is my big crop farm. So the reason why it is called the dowel plantation is because it is actually in the shape of a yin-yang. It's kind of like a yin-yang garden. We got carrots, potatoes, wheat, we got sugar cane, and also bamboo on the outside of the farm as well. So yeah, also a pre-survival series build as well, and it's just super cool to look at all the time. It's probably one of my favorite builds on this world, and it's also something that I have incorporated in some of my other survival worlds. But actually what we have to do in the future on this world is make a lot more crop farms, expanding far beyond this one. It is getting really hard to manage a lot of my current projects on this world because they involve crops, and I'm very scarce now on crops, and I need to have a lot more crop farms. So hopefully we can make a couple projects later down the line involving some crop farms, and hopefully have some farmer villagers try and manage those crop farms. So that should be a couple fun projects in the works, possibly for the summertime, ideally. Another one of my pre-survival series farms that I did before episode 1, right near my animal pen, is my pumpkin and melon farm. So this is pretty self-explanatory. This is where I farm a lot of my pumpkins and melons on this world. Pumpkins especially because I love using jack-o'-lanterns for a lot of my builds on this world. And it fits with the aesthetic of my snow biome especially quite nicely. So moving on up these stairs here, we have our automatic sweetberry snow globe farm. So we actually did this a few episodes back around Christmas time, and this farm is powered by hopper minecarts and Arctic foxes. So I'm going to show you guys the redstone area we got going on, and these guys have been just going ham trying to produce sweet berries for me, and it's just really awesome. Probably going to be one of the best ways to get emeralds on this world, and it's really easy and accessible now to get sweet berries and trade sweet berries with butchers, and hopefully we can actually make maybe like a butcher trading shop in the future. But yeah, these guys have just been like mass producing these things, and it's just been awesome. But yeah, holiday themed build. I also like to come here to record some of my intros and outros as well for these types of videos. It's just like a really cool place. It's one of my favorite builds that I've done on this world, and also one of my biggest, I think. So that is our automatic sweetberry snow globe farm. Walking a little bit past my house here is an area that some of you should be familiar with, and that is our storage hall. So I did a bit of detailing and reworking of this place, as you can probably tell from the entrance and some of these areas in our storage hall. But this is where I like to keep a lot of my blocks, materials, items, and also some valuables as well. It's also pretty accessible and convenient to also have for a survival world as big as mine right now. And I don't know if I want to expand this in the future. I probably have to. Some of the redesigning that I did in our storage hall is that these areas here that you can't actually put item frames on to correspond with certain materials and stuff. So we did colored signs instead for a lot of our wool dyes and glass, which is down there. So much easier to get to, and I don't have to like look around just to look for like one certain thing in a lot of these chests, which is a big plus. Also added a bunch of new items from stuff I didn't have before, like in my end, my nether. Some of the stuff relating to redstone. Beneath some of these creaky floorboards here is where I keep, if not all my valuables. Iron, gold, diamonds, emeralds, basically all here in one spot. And then I also keep my netherite down here as well, and you're going to see throughout the video that my XP bar is going to fluctuate, and that's because I'm doing a lot of netherite mining in between or remastering some of my takes. But we have a lot of ancient debris now, and we can probably get, if not like a full set of netherite armor, probably by the next episode, which is really awesome. And then we also reworked the entrance of this place as well. You're going to see throughout this world tour that I reworked a lot of these entrances here, just to give it a little bit more detail that was very lackluster. Still kept it to fit with the aesthetic of this world, also adding in the end rods like we did for our pathway at the back of our house, and also in here as well. But yeah, that's our storage hall, and I'm going to begin climbing this mountain to show you guys what is up here. Well, walking up the many flights of stairs here is this packed ice crystal in the distance, and this is where our strip mine is located. So again, I also redesigned the entrance of this place as well. We got the nice ice crystal up here to represent our Hell's Crystal strip mine. And we also have some smoke in the floor just walking into our entrance as well. And we actually dive down here. I actually have two strip mines down here. One is for like iron, gold, lapis, and then the second one down at Bedrock is 4 diamonds. This is my iron mine. I don't really use this mine much. I typically like to go like normal caving to get iron, gold, and all of the other ores that's not diamond. But down here towards Bedrock is where our diamond mine is located. I usually get, I think, almost all of my diamonds down in here. And I haven't gone diamond mining in a while, but I get a ton of diamonds from this strip down here. Here we have a nice little storage area for like a lot of, just storing a lot of deep slate and other items in case my inventory gets full, like it kind of is right now. But yeah, that is an overview of my strip mine. This is a place where I like to go diamond mining usually. And it's also a pre-survival series build, a very early pre-survival series build. So that is our Hell's Crystals strip mine. This pathway we did is oddly familiar. You might recognize it from episode 7, but this gate is not. This gate is something I newly added right before this episode for my Secret Mountain Survival Lab. But we also redesigned this entrance as well. This is probably the coolest redesign of all the entrances I did in preparation for this episode. Walk on in here. So really nothing much has actually changed since episode 8 except for this bit over here, which I did because I found a spider spawner hidden ways beneath the ground, and I'm probably planning to make a spider farm of it eventually. But yeah, here's our spider spawner. I'm probably planning to make a spider farm surrounding it eventually, so that way we can get tons of string and spider eyes. That is the only new thing I have done with this lab area. But just across the way is what we did in episode 8, which was our cow farm, or our very large cow farm. I'll breed some of these guys up here, but this is basically what we did to acquire a bunch of bookshelves that we needed for some of our larger scale projects, like our my Nether Hub and our Grand Library, which we'll get to much later in the tour. But yeah, this is how I got a bunch of leather in preparation for some of those larger scale projects on my world. Anyways, you guys kind of get a gist of what I'm planning to do with this place. Trying to put a lot of automatic and semi-automatic farms in this lab area. Still also don't know what I'm going to do with this ceiling up here for this place. I'm planning to just do a bunch of sea lanterns, just kind of make it look like the old Batcave from the Batman movies. So I think once I start to build a Guardian farm, I can probably start filling in the ceiling for this place, which might be pretty cool. So that is our Secret Mountain lab area that I have going on so far. It's heavily inspired to build something like this because of Dallas Med 65, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, dating back all the way to like 2017 or 2018. So he's had a survival world for like, I think almost like 9 years, and it's just so much more crazier than mine. Flying in down here is we're going to take a look at one of my other pre-survival series farms. This is a much needed farm that I needed to make somewhere around March or April of last year. And this is my tree farm. This is the orchard farm. It has a plethora of different woods for me to keep building the aesthetic of this world, or keep the aesthetic on this world. It's also a really cool place to be, really cool vibes all around. But yeah, this is the farm that I use to get a lot of wood. I primarily use dark oak and spruce for a lot of my builds, and they're just the most elite woods like known to man in this game. I still need to make another tree farm at some point to get all of the other wood types. But yeah, that is our orchard, or our tree farm on this world. Right across the way from where our tree farm is where our villager breeder and villager breeder outhouse are located. First I'm going to run you guys down what the villager breeder does. So, oh my god, they're breeding. Awesome. So this is basically how the villager breeder works. So they basically make a lot of new villagers for this particular area of my survival world. and they do a really good job of trying to repopulate this area. There he is. Oh my gosh. I have a big long tunnel that stretches all the way to this this big building here. This is my villager breeder outhouse. This is what also connects to my villager breeder for the newly bred villagers to stay in before I transport them elsewhere in my world to trading halls, new houses. So it's basically a place in terms of like raw hospitality where they can actually just stay and sleep in. It can house up to 24 villagers, spawn a lot of cats, and a lot of iron golems. So I really love this build that we did in the last episode, as it sits in the heart of where we ended up settling. It turned out really cool. We used a plethora of woods, and we also used or incorporated hay bales for the first time. So kind of a fun project to get done. And you also might realize that I did a lot of detailing with pathways and expanding out these pathways to some of these different builds, and going around these builds, going out to these builds within our last episode. And I started adding these packed ice rocks, and you might have seen this at the front entrance of our strip mine. I'm really loving adding these in for extra detail along with the logs with the wood straps. It also definitely fits with the aesthetic design of this world, and it also keeps hostile mobs out at night. So light levels are majorly important to just kind of scatter around this place as well. Also, this Nordic wall we got going on here, as I incorporated it when I was trying to implement some of these pathways. I think I saw one of the cats that I don't have yet. Orange cat. We just have to find... Oh, there he is! Can we tame him, though? Done. This is definitely one of the cats that we don't have. Yeah, so we just need the all-black cat now. The outhouse to our villager breeder has kind of caused me to have like a mini cat problem, because it's spawning in like a ton of these guys, and I have to basically do something about it eventually. Past our villager breeder is this house right here. This is our Fletcher's workshop. We get to say hi to G. Where's G at? Here he is. And then Finn is in here somewhere, my Fletcher. So yeah, this is our Fletcher's workshop. This is where I like to keep a lot of spare arrows. This place was really convenient, trying to prepare for my dragon fight, which we did in episode 6. So we did this the episode before we fought the Ender Dragon. And then out here is where our archery range is. So sometimes I like to go out here and just shoot these targets that are here. And then these are like where I like to store all my spare bows and crossbows and stuff. And it just kind of shows that there really isn't a lot of like stuff to run out of in terms of ideas on this world. Moving along, moving up here, we got the northern lights up in the sky right now, and we get to say hi to our other golem, Lewis. And then Hugh is in here somewhere. He's probably sleeping. There he is. But yeah, this is our potion apothecary. We did this all the way back in episode 3. So this was one of my summer projects. And out here we have a nice flower farm. We have all the tall variants. So that way we can just farm them up with bone meal. So yeah, it's pretty nice trying to get some of the rarer dyes, or actually they're kind of common. And then out here is my netherwart farm and my spare sugarcane farm to make potions and stuff. So, and then the rest of this place just kind of looks like an episode of Breaking Bad. We just have a bunch of storage for potions, items to make certain potions. We have brewing stands all around here, cauldrons, and also other spare storage for other items. So yeah, that is our potion apothecary. But yeah, I also had time to make some pathways right through the heart of this village here, and I'm actually planning to do a couple more projects within this little village that was generated here, so stay tuned for that. So now it's time to get into some of our larger scale builds. Walking up this pathway near our animal pen is this entrance that looks like one of the ghost houses from Mario, but this is the entrance that leads to my nether portal. for me to go in and out of the Nether. Like most of the entrances in this world tour, we also redesigned this one as well, just a tiny bit, but not by much. Through these halls leads all the way into my portal room, and you can access the Nether through here. Tried my very best to pimp this room out to the best of my ability, and I think it came out just fantastic. But our big project is through our Nether portal, which is our big Nether Hub that we designed in a few episodes back around Halloween time. So let's just march on in. So this is our Nether Hub. We kind of finished it off for one episode right around Halloween, and that was a perfect time to finish that project off. And this was my first project, or my first large-scale project, where I utilized a lot of bookshelves for the design of this place. So yeah, really cool. We have all 4 cardinal directions leading into the tunnels and stuff. I'm going to show you guys some of these tunnels. They're not like super in detail, like it's just like a very fast way to travel by ice boat, which is probably one of, if not the fastest ways to travel within the game. And these go out to places like fortresses, bastions, and other biomes that are really useful and resourceful in the Nether. But yeah, this is our Nether Hub. This is something that I have been working on since episode 1, and I'm thinking of ideas of trying to expand this place outwards by possibly making like other farms and other places and portals and stuff to travel through to get to other places and stuff. So and then we have this entrance way where our north tunnel is, and this is actually where my netherite mine is. So down here I have a separate storage area exclusively for netherite mining. I have like netherrack storage on both sides here, and then we also have like other items I might pick up, like in case my inventory gets full. And then just back here, like I have ender chests on both sides, and then I have a enchant table that goes up to level 30, so there's no need to leave this area if I'm just continuing to mine as well. I've actually stopped mining a ton and started using TNT to get a lot of my ancient debris, and it's so much faster. So I'm probably going to try and pick up more of this stuff around like the beginning of next episode. But yeah, we have to definitely get a lot more ancient debris because it's going to get a lot harder to get netherite items in the game after the 1.20 update. But yeah, that is a tour of my Nether and my Nether Hub as a whole, as it's one of my, probably one of my favorite places on this world, especially that I've built. So some of the few remaining builds we have left, if we fly over here, this is my dragon egg shrine just right in front of my grand library. This also fully encases my dragon egg that we obtained back in episode 6 when we defeated the ender dragon, and it's just, it looks really cool. Really shows off and encapsulates some of the lore that happened on this world not too far long ago. So that's our dragon egg shrine that we incorporated in front of our grand library. And speaking of our grand library, this is the last thing that we are touring. I really like the open top to this place as well. But yeah, we based this build off of Viking longhouses, or large-scale Viking longhouses, and this library pretty much has it all, and then some compared to a normal library. So we have a bunch of trophy cases showcasing some of our most prized possessions that have happened on this world, or that we have obtained on this world. And then we have our library, villager, trading hall that goes all the way around on this first or this ground floor down here. We also have a librarian, his name is Gary. And then we also have a bunch of storage for our enchantment books. And all of these shelves for each and every enchantment, it's in alphabetical order, just like it would be in a typical library. And then what would be a Minecraft library without multiple level 30 enchanting areas? So I have these up here as well, and they're much more convenient to use compared to some of the other stations that I have set up in this world. Then I have some of these third floor balcony areas. This is where I like to jot down some of the ideas that I have for this world, or some future builds that I have on this world. A list of the episodes that we have done, and then over there is where I read comment of the episode. So yeah, that is a brief synopsis of what the Grand Library is basically used for, and you just saw me like fly through here. It's big enough for me to do that. So, but yeah, this is my biggest build to date on this world, and it is also my favorite place that I have built so far. But as much as I really love this place, we're still not finished it yet. We still have to do our map room, war room area down underneath this library. Yeah, that will be a really cool thing to do underneath this place, as this world is continuously expanding. Man, I mean, this just looks really cool. Just looking at it from the outside and in. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I have covered everything on this world, and that should conclude our world tour of recapping all of the builds that I have done, and also some of the future projects that I have in store to add on and build off of for this world. So hopefully I explained everything in pretty good detail. If not, just leave a comment down below, and I will probably respond to it. But the docket for next episode is we're going to try and do number 5 and side mission 2. So I'm going to try and get a lot of my netherite armor and such, and I'm going to make like a winter cabin for all of my cats to try and resolve that cat problem that we currently have. Probably planning to make another one of these videos this time next year as well. Maybe do like a 2-year world tour, and hopefully we'll actually have something available in terms of a world download for this world. This video is over like a half hour long, so I should probably stop rambling here. So anyways, please leave a like. It helps me out a ton with the algorithm. I have a bunch of crazy builds for this world planned for the future, so subscribe if you are new. Leave a comment on this video. That is also greatly appreciated. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you all enjoyed the world tour episode, and cheers to a possible 2-year world tour episode sometime in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. As always, take care.